Can I tell you something? One day, while I was going through all the stuff that I was dealing with, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me, and I sat there and I thought to myself, what if I am dying? I literally was like, what if I'm dying and I don't know what it is? And one day, I'm just gonna bleed out, I'm gonna end up in hospital, and I'm gonna leave my children with no legacy. And when I say no legacy, I felt like I didn't have anything to offer them. I felt like a failure as a mom. I felt like a failure as a wife. I felt like a failure as a person. I felt like I wasn't ready. I felt like I had so much more to do and so much more to say. And I had to figure out what that was. Like, what did I want to do? What did I want to say? And I had been writing for about 7 years and sending messages on WhatsApp to friends and family. I made this group and I would send these things to encourage them and to give them tips and give them guidance and give them support. And I would always get these messages that would say, I really needed to hear that right now. Like, you don't know what it is that I'm going through. This is exactly what I needed to hear. This is exactly what I needed to do. This helped me so much. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And I kept doing it. And after a while, I think when I started to get that feedback, it's like I started doing it because people expected me to do it. I wasn't doing it from a place of, this is just who I am and this is just naturally flowing out of who I am, and then other people are benefiting from it. Of course, at the time, I didn't see that. It just gradually dwindled to nothing. My journaling time actually also dwindled to nothing. And I say that to say that when you're not being introspective, when you are not paying attention to your own thoughts and your own behavior and the reasons behind why you're doing things, the reason behind why you're going after certain goals, whether they be big or small, whether they be inside of you or outside of you. When you're not paying attention to those things, it is very easy to burn out, because when you are not paying attention to why you're doing what you're doing, you end up doing it because it's expected of you. And that is a dangerous place to be, because you fall into people pleasing. And sometimes we look at people pleasing in, let's say, a work environment where you want to please your boss, you want to look good for the team, you want to make yourself stand out. And we look at people pleasing from that point of view. But people pleasing can apply to any sphere of life. It could apply to your children. You could be a people pleaser to your children. You could be a people pleaser to your spouse. You could be a people pleaser to your PTA, you know? We need to be mindful. And when I really step back, and when I say stepped back, I'm not asking any of you to be as extreme as I was, but for about 6 months, I remember I was fully zoned in on myself, and I needed to do that because I had completely lost myself. I had completely lost who I was. I did not know who I was. I just knew what was expected of me. And I knew how to show up and do what was expected of me. But I didn't have a why. I didn't have a purpose. That's a sad thing to say out loud. And I know that there are other people who are feeling that way. You're going through life, you're going through the motions, and you are doing what is expected of you. But you're in a state where you're not getting the approval and the validation that you're seeking. Because when you do what is expected of you, you're not doing it out of who you are. You're doing it for other people to validate and tell you who you are. So I did a lot of searching. I read a lot of books. I listened to a lot of podcasts. I did a lot of journaling. I prayed. I fasted. I did all the things. But nothing was giving me the answers that I needed. And I was challenged in a coaching program that I was in to create something that would be purposeful, that would help others. And that's when I actually documented the vision sequence, not realizing that I was doing it all along, but I had never actually put a framework to it. And when I saw that, and I saw that it actually could be valuable to other people and it can actually help other people, that's when I really started getting serious about sharing on social media and doing those types of things. I never thought I would end up being asked to speak at someone else's event. I never thought I would have actually had a book. I never thought I would have a publisher interested in publishing with me. I never thought that people would be asking me about coaching. I had a man call me, and this is funny because he hit my car. And he called me and we were talking about, the insurance and getting the car fixed and that type of stuff. And he was like, oh, the coaching that you do, is it just for women? And I said, no. The group coaching is women, but the individual coaching, my one-on-one sessions, are for women or men. And he's like, oh, all right. He's like, I'm dealing with some stuff right now, but I'll let you know when I'm ready. And I was like, that's so interesting. But it just goes to show that when you show up in your lane, and when you stay in your lane, and when you focus on doing your thing, you start to operate from a place of abundance. And when I say abundance, I'm not talking about like material abundance or anything like that. But there's a verse in the Bible that says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So when I speak, I'm not speaking as a people pleaser. I'm not speaking and saying what I'm expected to say. I'm speaking out of who I am. I'm speaking out of the core of who I am, and I'm speaking in alignment with what I want for my life, and I'm speaking in alignment with what I want to give to the world. So I'm saying all that to say, get in tune with your own personal vision. Get in tune with your vision for your life. When you start doing that, the people who are also aligned with that vision will come in line with you. And this is not necessarily the people who are going to partner with you, who are benefiting you, but the people also that you are going to benefit, right? Because we are not here. Our vision in life, in my personal understanding, my personal opinion, and I don't even think this is an opinion, I think this is the truth. When your vision is only for yourself and only for your own personal gain and your own small sphere, like you want to start a business because you want to make money, and that's fine. But that business is also about the people that you're serving. And understanding the people that you're serving and serving them in the best way is going to require effort, and it's going to require intention from you, right? It's going to require intention and attention. Your vision also can't be so great that it makes everything else around you disappear, including the people in your life. Because I've been in a state where I neglected myself for so long that I reached a point where I also neglected my relationships because I was so honed in on finding myself. So when we talk about the vision sequence, there's one element in the vision sequence is insight. And there are consistent questions that you'll need to ask yourself as you are building a life that you want, as you are building a life that you love. What is this doing to me? What is this doing to my relationships? Right? What are my values as I pursue whatever it is that I'm going to pursue? And it could be a very good thing. It could be your health. It could be getting your finances in order. It could be all these different things. And I think that we live in this age where we are encouraged to have boundaries, but very often when we establish boundaries, we need to be very careful that we're not cutting off the very people that we need to thrive, and we are not cutting off the very people that we need to feed. Because regardless of whether or not you are on your personal vision, you are also the part of someone else's life, right? And in the beginning, where God says just before he created Eve, he says, it is not good that man should be alone. And I believe that he wasn't just talking about Adam, he was talking about mankind. And the suitable helper that he created for Adam, he created a woman for a man, but we are all suitable helpers to each other, right? So it is not good for any of us to be alone. It is not good for any of us to walk through new journeys completely alone. And I am a Christian, so I know that I have the Holy Spirit, and I know that God is always with me wherever I go. I know that I'm never alone. But there are times where you're going to need a partner. And I position myself as a partner. That's why when you look at my title, it says visionary, confidant, and coach, because a lot of the time people don't have anyone to talk to. And I felt that way for a long time. I knew that there was something that I was trying to do, but I didn't know what it was. And I didn't know who to talk to about that thing. And I didn't know who could help me. And it would have been so valuable to me to have someone who I could just sit and talk with, and I could just go through my life and look at my life from a big picture point of view. One of the things that I share is your vision life sheet, and that is literally the first thing. It's actually a free download on my website. So if you click the link in my bio where you can download resources, you'll see that that's the first thing. It's absolutely free. It's one sheet, and you look at all these different areas of your life and you rank them in order of importance, in order of your satisfaction. And it just gives you a view, because sometimes when you hit a wall in a certain area, it's all that you see. You see the problem, you see this particular issue, but you don't see all the other things that can be good in your life, or you don't see another area that's contributing to why this other thing is falling apart. There are couples who are having problems in their marriage, but the problem may not be the marriage itself. The problem might be finances. The problem might be communication, but you don't see that unless you zoom all the way out. And that's what the Vision Life Sheet helps you to do. So if you download it, my information, my contact information is on there, and I welcome your feedback. If you want to come back here and you want to send me a direct message, or you want to comment here and let me know how it helped you, I would appreciate that. But knowing that there is someone in your corner, and knowing that there's someone you can bounce ideas off, and knowing that there's someone who's not going to call you crazy when you start dreaming big dreams and thinking about things that you have never done before, is so valuable. I have that now. I'm with a different group of women, and it happens to be women, but I am in other groups where there are women and men. And I know that because I have a particular vision and because I have a particular way of doing things, I know that this group that I am in right now, it's actually called the Destiny Collective, and it's led by Marshawn Evans Daniels, and she is the author of this book, Believe Bigger, and it is an amazing book. We actually just finished going through it as a group, and it was amazing. And I know that my faith needs to be way bigger than it used to be because of where God is taking me, because of where this vision is taking me. I know what it is that I need, and I have to commit to becoming that woman who can do those things. So that's where I am now. I want to encourage you. It doesn't have to be me, right? Get yourself a coach, get yourself a group, and you could literally do this on your own. If you have a friend group, if you have someone who you look up to, who you have access to, like actual access to, who is willing to walk with you, or just have a conversation with you. It doesn't have to be this person's gonna commit the next 6 months to you. I offer 90-minute sessions, and I offer 90-day sessions. I offer full 1 year sessions. That person may not be willing or able to commit that much time to you, but it could be as much as just having a conversation and saying, can we meet for lunch? Can I have a Zoom call with you? There's something I really need to talk to you about. And I've done that in my own life with people that I have access to, and it's so beneficial. It is such an amazing opportunity to be able to learn from people who have gone before you and people who have done things that you want to do. If you have a friend who's lost a lot of weight, and you're trying to lose 10-15 pounds and it's not really working, ask them what they did. Everyone's metabolism is different, and some things that work for them may not work for you, but I guarantee you're going to learn something. If you have a friend who was able to buy their first home and get their finances in order, ask them what they did. Their life is different. Their money might be different. Their income might be different. Their lifestyle might be different. But I guarantee you there's something that you can learn from them. So life is here to teach us lessons, and it's to teach us lessons so that we could go ahead and do the things that we are called to do. God has a plan for every single one of us. Every single one of us. But when we listen to the limitations in our own minds and the limitations that other people set, even by their expectations of us, that's when we don't move forward. I think that's all I wanted to say today. I hope that helped you. I hope that what I've said has resonated with you, and I hope to hear from you. Leave me a comment. Let me know what resonated with you most and why, and let me know what you want to apply to your life from what I've said. I'll talk to you guys soon. Blessings on your journey.